What if the answer to growing your business was about systems? Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan Probert, and I'm joined by my mom and co host, Laura DeFranco. Welcome, Mom.
Hey, bud.
And we want to welcome you to Systemized, the show where we talk to successful entrepreneurs about the systems that help them grow their business. It's what we wanted to know when we started ours, and it's what's going to help you build yours. Today, we're excited to welcome brand therapist Melissa Henry to the show. How's it going, Melissa?
Hi. Good, great. I'm excited to be here.
Thanks for coming on. Let me tell you guys a little bit about Melissa first. Melissa is the founder of Hell of a Brand, which helps purpose driven entrepreneurs become known for their brilliance. Former CPA turned entrepreneur of 16 plus years, she blends strategy, creativity, and intuition to guide her clients. Her signature vibes framework turns big visions into authentic brands that command attention, build influence, and open bigger doors. Now, Melissa, can you tell us about something you implemented into your business that saved you time, saved you effort, or saved you money?
Yeah, actually, I want to talk today about what I'm calling the customer journey. That's something I want to share with you. And in this case, I would say it saved me time, it saved me money, and it helps me attract better clients. So it's like kind of hitting all of those buttons,
Hitting all three, that's great.
all of those three. Yes.
And can you give us a deep dive on this client journey? Can you just explain how it came to be and how you used it in your business?
Yeah, well, so here's the thing. Like, I have a lot in common with my clients, as I think a lot of service-based entrepreneurs do. And what I find is that my clients have a lot of things going on, and that can look like multiple offers, that can look like multiple marketing tactics, or both. And they're very likely trying to sell to more than one audience. This happens so much. And it's just not working like they would like it to. Because, and I know this because I did this myself for many years, and it was so hard. And I just wanted to make things easier on myself. So I created this way of mapping out the customer journey and what I would need to do at each step along the way. So, and just this kind of came about organically because it became, not just something that I was doing for myself, but I actually started to use it in my work with my clients because I knew that, oh my gosh, if once you get some of this foundational work done, you need to be able to implement it. You need to understand what the path is, right? So the first part of this, do you want me to kind of go through it a little bit, or do you want me to? Okay, great. Well, the truth is, I do the work up front, which is getting clarity around things like understanding the right fit clients and picking just one. You need to understand the facts about who they are, what they're thinking and they're feeling and they're wanting. That's so key in order to even get started on any of this, right? So if you don't do that, you're going to end up with three, four, five different customer journeys, and that's freaking impossible to do, right? The second piece of this is really like looking at what the offer is. So designing an offer that actually takes what you do best, like your skills, your talents, etc., and it solves the biggest problem that they have that they urgently want to solve. So it's really tying together kind of what you do best with how you're going to solve their biggest problem. The third piece of this is really figuring out where those people are. Like, where are they online? Where are they offline? How do I connect with them in order to get my message out? And then finally, it's looking at what is the strategy that makes the most sense, that's literally like what's the fastest way to reach them, and something also that you're going to be consistent doing, because it's no use doing a strategy that like all these other people are telling you this is the strategy. What if you hate it? Right? You can't hate it. You have to like it at least enough to feel like you can do it consistently. So from that place, that's when you can put together a project plan. So I use a couple of tools in my business now that I think helps me with this. The first tool is called draw.io. It is a free It's like a mapping kind of tool. So you can do like flow charts and you can do mind maps and you can do all the things. But it's really good. To have something free like that to just really be able to get things out of your head is amazing. So I do that to visually map it out because I'm a super visual person. I need to see how everything flows and move things around before I do anything else. So then I create the project plan and I use a different tool for that. It's called projects.co. This is one I found it's free for up to 10 active projects. And so, meaning like when you're done with a project is start to finish, right? So you can close one out and start a new active project. So I don't usually have more than 10 active projects at once. So this is actually perfect for me. And what's cool about this is where I said earlier it's saving me time and money and all the things. This is how I'm getting organized. So I can manage what I'm doing. I don't have like 15 different checklists on my desk and on a spreadsheet and all the things. I love spreadsheets. I mean, former CPA here. But I want to make sure that is in one place that not only I can access, but my VA can access too. And so I can actually assign her tasks within this, and she gets emails, and then we're communicating within the platform. Everything's in one place. And it used to be that we were doing everything through WhatsApp or email, and it was ridiculous. I was like, oh, did she handle that task? I don't even know. Did she finish? Where's the document for that? Everything's within that entire system. So it's amazing. And so, I mean, I can pause there because I feel like I'm, blah, blah, blah. I can tell you like I can kind of walk you through what an example of that looks like for me if you want. But anyways, those are the systems and the tools that I use.
No, that's great. One question I do want to ask is, did this start as a fully working system for you, or did it improve over time? What did you do to make it better?
Oh my gosh.
All that.
Yeah, it wasn't fully baked at first. I was like, look, I got to like I had spent some time trying to figure out, well, what's the right way for me to be able to see what I'm doing and get it done because I literally I can't even tell you how many planners I've used and I can't use them anymore. It doesn't work. I can't write everything down and then be able to put that digitally. It was like I was doing the same work twice. So those written planners don't work for me. And I also, as I said, I'm a very visual person. So to be able to see things in a way that I can instantly understand from a big picture place was so key. So finding that mapping tool was number one, and then figuring out how to use it, which is super easy. But I instantly implemented that with my clients. And I can't tell you, I've gone through two or three like times with clients recently where they were like, oh my God, I can totally see why I was doing too much. Because I was like, yeah, remember, each one of these little boxes is time that you're going to be spending, is maybe assets that you're going to have to produce. Every single strategy you guys are going to do, it's going to require time and learning and all the things. And so, anyway, I'm going a little bit off but what you asked, but that's the idea is that yeah, none of this stuff is typically, right out of the bat, you're like, oh, I get it. You kind of have to figure out what works best for you. Like a tool is a tool, but you have to figure out for you and how you operate in your business what's the right thing.
One more question I have for you, I think our final one here is, could you give us an example run through of how you use this system within your business?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Well, so I look at things, I'm kind of like I have brand strategy is the core of what I do. And I also, as I said earlier, know that people have to implement it. So I like to create that bridge for them and with them on how they can do that. And so the way that we look at this is we look at this from a place of people have to become aware of you, then they have to consider you, and then they get into the final decision making space. And there can be several stops along that way. These days, people need a lot more consideration before they even go to that next step. So, but that's, putting my marketing hat on. But the way that it works for me is that, and for most, is that you need to find a way, this is the awareness stage, you need to find a way to connect with new people. So that could look like networking, that could look like cold outreach, to people that you think might be potential clients or collaborators or even just great people that you want to have in your network that, just maybe they have great networks too. This could look like speaking to other people's audiences or creating ads on social media and things like that. And I said earlier, it's just got to be something that you can do consistently and not dread it every day. Okay. So that's sort of that awareness thing. I use social media, by the way, not as a driver of leads, but more as an authority builder. I know I need to have a presence somewhere and I need to be consistent about doing that so that when people do connect with me, they have a place to go to check me out because they're gonna. They probably aren't going to get on a call with you right away when you first say, "Hey, how's it going?" Some do, but most of the people who want to get on a call with you right away are probably interested in selling you something. I hate to be like, kind of what's the word? I'm not trying to be negative about it, but it sometimes feels like that happens. But so I'm on LinkedIn and I do that because I'm a business to business, business owner like that. I serve other businesses. So it's really important for me to have a presence there. So that's really that sort of awareness stage. Then the next step is like, let's get them into a place where they can start to consider you and learn more about you. And that means you can put a lead magnet out there. That means that you can tell them, hey, I'm having this workshop coming up. That's one I like to do. I really love giving workshops. I get a lot of energy out of that, teaching someone new, something new, that kind of thing. And I make sure that the links to those things are, I share them in my email list. I make sure they're on my social media profile. I put events out there, all that kind of thing. But you got to get them in a room with you, or you got to get them into some place where they can experience more of you. I recently heard that it's like at this point, if it's a cold person, never heard of you before, they usually have to be like they have to see you up to like 7 hours, something like that, 7 hours of content or just being with you or something like that. So, and then you have that what I call a conversion event. So this is taking them from like the consideration into a call with you or into deciding to buy with you. So, depending on what your the investment in what you're doing is, you can take people directly into a sale from like, and not even be in front of them physically. Usually those are really low ticket items because you're not spending that time with them. I like to do things where I'm in front of people and then I say, okay, let's get on a call. I usually give them value on that call also. I want to give them as much value as I can up front. And so, of course, the call for me is the conversion event. It could be a website, all of those things. So that's kind of the way or the basic structure. At each step along the way, this is what I want to make people aware of. And this is the reason why I do what I do with my clients. Every step along that path is going to require some kind of brand asset that you're going to have to create. So, and I put that in a huge bucket. So it could be the lead magnets, it could be a quiz or assessment, it could be landing pages, it can be sales pages, it can be emails. I consider those brand assets. It could be a whole lot of things, like changing your profile, doing all of these things. You got to build that into your project plan. And you need to be able to backtrack if you've got a launch coming up or something and you really want to build this momentum towards it, then you want to make sure you're hitting all of those milestones along the way. So you just sort of reverse engineer the date that you want to do this launch backwards to make sure that all of those things can get completed by you or your VA. But I think you can see now this is why I want my clients to be really clear about what they're doing and not taking on too much because you won't hit it. You won't be able to do all of this on your own. If you're a solopreneur and you don't already have a team that handles all this for you, it's you, right? So we want to make sure we do something that's going to really work and not make you feel like you're flailing.
Oh, Melissa, thank you for the expertise, and you guys can hear the wisdom, you can hear the experience. Melissa and I go way back, and when she began working with me and my brand, there was a few puzzle pieces that clicked for me, and everything kind of rolled from there. If you're hearing this today and you're feeling a little overwhelmed with all the things, welcome to the party. It's kind of like why we're here talking about systems, because systems are the way we get that ease and relief and freedom that we all signed up for, right?
Mhm.
So, I know you relate, Melissa, but the entrepreneurial journey can be very challenging, to say the least. What
Mhm.
do you think is the most important business building tip you want to share with our audience today?
Yeah, you told me you were going to ask this question, and I spent some time really thinking about it because there's so much that you want to tell people who are trying to do this. But I think for me, if you really believe in what you do and you have this kind of big vision in mind for what you want to achieve, you cannot let setbacks take you down. And there's going to be hundreds of them over the course of time in business, hundreds. You almost need to treat that like it's inevitable, like it's not a unique scenario when when you hit a setback. Because the thing is, you're going to see a lot of marketers that make you believe they sell this idea that you just need this one thing and everything will change in your business. They have a lot of people who are, testimonials, success stories to say this works for me, And I think the thing is that it can work, but unless you're ready for that unless you have like full clarity around like who you are at your core, where you fit in the market, who you can serve best with your skills and your talents. And you also, ding, 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 you have to have a true belief that you can actually do this. That's the sort of thing underneath, right? That's the mindset piece. If you don't have those things, I don't care who's marketing to you, those tactics will not work, period. They won't. I know this. Firsthand, I know this. I've seen it play out over and over again amongst people that are, business buddies of mine. I've seen people go back to a day job or a full-time job, I guess, because of this. And so what is so amazing is that when you get those things in place, there's like a level of I'm going to call it certainty. It's like a core certainty that comes from creating this brand, and it becomes like liberating for people because they can see it. Like they know, okay, I'm on board. I get it. And now I know exactly who I'm talking to. I know exactly how I'm going to reach them, and I know exactly what they need, and I can do this. And then that mindset piece actually starts to get covered there too. So I have to tell you, I'm almost addicted to watching my clients transform this way because it's amazing to see that and you see it like real time happening. So I don't know, I think maybe I went a little off topic, but hopefully that answers the question.
I mean, you're laying down some foundational information that I hope y'all just pause and rewind and listen again, because all of those things, all those shiny things that you want to invest in aren't going to work if you don't have these foundations set. And I have watched it too, Melissa. So I'll back you
Yeah.
up by saying I've watched my own friends and colleagues have that same exact problem. I mean, I think we all have it in the beginning, and we
Yeah, of
get
course.
clearer and clearer and clearer along the journey.
Yeah, and
Um,
I think the thing is if you want to expedite that, like so many people have said, well, okay, I've built this on my own over time, but the key word there is over time. So you either do it over time by yourself and all the things, which is perfectly fine. If you've got the time, go for it. Or they go to someone who does this work and helps them do it, and they do it that much faster. So there's always a choice. Everything you do in your business, whatever you decide to invest in, it should it should create more time for you, and it should make things go faster for you.
yes, 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 yes to that. Yes, with an exclamation point to that one. Okay, we would actually like to close the show with one more important question.
Sure.
One of the goals of Systemized is to support fellow entrepreneurs in their business to get to this goal of that time freedom. This is like what we all want, right? And the lifestyle they want to live. Tell us a little bit about what entrepreneurship has done for you in general, or what has it allowed you to do that was, I don't know, unexpected, maybe something you never
Mm.
saw yourself doing.
Yeah, that's a good one. So I come from a long career in accounting and project management. And during that time, not that my entire career, but like towards the end of that, I was really disillusioned about what I was doing, and I didn't really feel like there was a purpose. I could tell you what it was I was doing, and you'd be like, yeah, there's no purpose to that where I was working. But I was making a really good living, but I was unfulfilled. And even in the last like 6 months of working full time, I was absolutely miserable, like working 12 to 14-hour days. I was coming home after midnight sometimes. I wasn't eating dinner with my family that often. So when I think back on all the things that I've gone through since then as an entrepreneur, those were hard, but they weren't as hard as that to me, right? And it's made me a much better person. I the amount of personal development that you go through being an entrepreneur is insane. It's like way deeper than even going through therapy. It seems like to me because it's incredible. But the upside, this is the cool part, and this is the reason why I continue to do this. The upside is limitless when you think about it, because you literally get to create something that's uniquely you, like from your brain, and your hands and all the things, and you make money with it. How cool is that? Right? It comes out of thin air. Like you're like, okay, this is an idea. Now I made it. And the amount of money you can make, the upside of that, if you have done the things and you have the mindset that you're going to do this no matter what, it's vastly higher than you'd make working for anyone else. I promise you. The last piece of this, which I think is truly amazing, I never even thought about this prior to doing this, but the kinds of people I get to hang out with, they're incredible. Like they're like world-changing people. They're big thinkers. They have such big purpose, and they're just not, I don't know. They don't have like a scarcity thoughts. They don't, I don't know. It's so different than being in a corporate setting where people are not like that. I don't know. I hope that doesn't sound bad. They're perfectly
Uh,
nice people where I used to work, but totally different kind of animal in this world.
I mean, you just hit on most all of the reasons Jonathan and I decided to start this podcast. So thank you. And
Absolutely.
I'm gonna turn it back over to Jonathan to close us out today. But just huge gratitude to you before we do that for just who you are and how you show up in the world, and for being one of my favorite and best, I call them legacy business partners.
Mm,
Thank you, Melissa.
thank you.
Yep. And I have to agree on some of the stuff you said in that last question. Definitely was miserable in my corporate job, and transition has been, it's been its own struggle, but it's better than the corporate. And the people too are a lot better. They all have gone through that growth of being an entrepreneur and are generally more aligned with what I want to do. So
Mhm.
definitely a good shout there. But thank you so much for coming on the show today, Melissa.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
for
me.
what you're doing in the world. Before we let you go, I want to let you get a chance to let people know what you're up to and shout yourself out, basically.
Sure. Well, I'm up to a few things over here, but I think what would be most helpful to people who are listening to this is I have a visibility assessment. It's called the Visibility Factor. It's my free gift to you. It's going to help you uncover how well your current brand is really working for you. I know people want to be seen and known for what they do. They want people to come to them without, with more ease, I would say. So what I truly believe is you should have a brand that opens doors for you, like next level doors for you. And I do believe that you should be positioned in a way that is like truly showcasing your core genius. So it's the assessment takes about 15 minutes or so. It does assume that you have at least a social media presence. You don't have to have a website. That's an option, but something where you can actually go and evaluate what you've got out there. So there is a link to the assessment. You guys, I know, are going to put it in the show notes. Yep.
Yep.
And also, if you want to connect with me, I love connecting with people on my platform of choice, which is LinkedIn. And that will be, I understand, the show notes too. So there you go.
Awesome. Well, you guys heard Melissa. Go reach out and carry on the conversation. Again, links will be in the description. But also remember to grab your free system success guide, which will get you started on systemizing your business today.
You guys, to both of you, thanks. Those gifts, Melissa's visibility assessment, Jonathan's systems guide, these are business changing gifts. You guys go get them. Okay. I've done both, and my business is different and moving a needle because of them. Oh my gosh. I get excited for y'all because these things that you guys are doing are really magnificent. So make sure to grab all the gifts, people. And yeah, let's wrap it up, John.
Okay, guys, that does it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Remember, for epic business growth, get systemized.